Bada bing, bada boom. We should be live. Let's see. Are we live? Let me call the other window up here. Oh, more twists to Gene Hackman death. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah. So, I saw the video alert. Let's see. Can y'all hear me? Here we are. Okay. Charlie's about to join us, hopefully. You let me know when you're ready, baby.
Well, if I can find it, hold it to me.
I need to be cloned. So much to do. Got a smudgy on my screen. Okay, that's gone. Whee! Yeah, I saw the alert for your video, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to watch anything. Yay, thank you, Adrienne. Okay, now I'm getting the alert that we're live. I guess we are officially live. Cool. Suzanne, welcome. Welcome in. So, wow, I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since our last chat. We have been running around like chickens with their heads cut off, tell you the truth. I've been repotting things in the greenhouse. I've got peppers up about that high and putting them into pots. And already people are calling me saying, do you have this? Do you have that? And one lady called and said, do you have Scotch bonnets? And those happen to be the first peppers I potted up. I've got like 5 flats of them, and I'd only potted 1 flat up. But she came, I said, look, they're teeny tiny. And she came and she says, I'll pay you full price for them. There's Charlie. But I've got, I'm featuring Mexico this year. So I've got a lot of Mexican peppers up that personally I've never used. So I'm going to be learning a lot of Mexican cooking this summer, I guess. But, last time I kind of harped on the idea that we're going to all have to start thinking about victory gardening or survival gardening. So my research is continuing, and I've got what I was working on before we went live is a list of 30 victory garden or World War II vegetables that were grown as part of the resistance. So that, because when you're invaded by another country or you're at war, the forces will come in and churn up your garden and confiscate food and everything. But a lot of these things I've been researching, most people wouldn't recognize as being edible. And if you're interested in that, I'll go through the list and just we can all compare notes on what you already grow that's on this list. And if you want to hear about that tonight, we can do that. Let me know. Adrian's getting some water. Let's see. Hey, before we get too far into this, would you mind giving us a thumbs up and thumbs up, subscribe, share. I see more than 2 people on the list. This tells me there's 2 people in here, but I know there's at least 4 of us in here, right? Yeah, that's Charlie, Reflect on Light. Corn is out of control. Okay. I have something a little interesting then. If you can't count on the store for seeds, you need to grow your own. And my beets look like they may have survived the winter. If they'll go to seed, then yeah.
They should.
They
They're
should.
biennial.
Charlie says they're biennial. So they should go to seed this year. Yeah, hostas, daylilies, make sure they're daylilies and not tiger lilies. Daylilies, you can eat the early shoots, the greens that come up. You can eat the roots. You can eat the blossoms of daylilies, and they're beautiful. One beet has survived from last year. We'll see what happens. Make sure you flag it so you don't pull it out by accident. I just realized doing my research that the miner's lettuce that I've been planting, Charlie and I went through the green stalk planters. Was it yesterday, honey? Yeah, yesterday, and planted like 3 or 4 varieties of strawberry. And I pulled some things out, totally forgetting that I had seeded miner's lettuce in there. And now that just before I went live, I saw pictures of it. I hope I didn't pull it all up, because I think I may have pulled it all up. It's one of those things that you got to remember what you have, right? Before you go planting things over the top of it. But I think it's going to become
You guys down.
Have the animals making you crazy?
They're familiar with this.
Anyway, I think it's going to be increasingly important that we plant things like this, and you might want to do it now rather than later, given the way things are going. So, yeah, the dogs are doing a pee-pee dance.
Yeah.
Charlie's pee-pee boy. They like it when he lets them out for some reason. Hey, Ace. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking survival gardens, maybe. So do y'all want me to start at the beginning of this list? I've got 30, but I've only done research on up to 27 of them. But some of these I had not heard of before. And I'm willing to, as we talk tonight, go over what they are and then really quickly look to see if I can find a source if you're interested in growing them. But I did my giveaway tonight is going to be World War II or Victory cookbook. What do y'all think of that? Does that sound like a nice giveaway? Can you get your link drop? All right, you want to come up on the panel? Let's see, Ace. Okay, so if I want to invite people up on the panel, how do I channel link? If you want to come up on the panel, here's this, but how do I pin that? No. Pin message. Okay, I think I pinned that to the top. So if anyone wants to come up on the panel, you can click on that and we can join you. So, what do you think? Do you want me to start talking about this? It's been crazy. The weather during the day has been up to mid 70s on some days, upper 60s, mid 70s. And tonight we're having a freeze. It's 44 degrees out there right now. Went up to 72 today. And it was nice when I went out earlier. Went out to the greenhouse and started some more pepper seeds soaking and planted cardoon. Cardoon is a survival plant that we talked about 2 weeks ago, and I finally got the seed in. And it says just it's easiest to start it inside and then set it out. So that's what I've done. I've started 9 plants for us and about 35 to sell. And we'll see what kind of germination we get. We got our Skirret, Skirret, which is a tuber plant, remember? And we planted that outside this window here where we can watch it. You can better verify that they are the person when they're in the basement before you bring them on panel. Yeah, we'll see. Don't want any woohoo coming in, right? Snow is great insulation. Yes, Dark Lord, do you remember, Sander, do you remember the really weird radish with the German name Rugelswigger or whatever it is, like really big? Well, you say it, Charlie. You'll laugh at me all you want. He's laughing at me.
It's mango something or another. I can't.
Oh, you can't say it either. Anyways,
I don't remember it.
You don't remember it. It's a big honking radish. We got those in. What else did we get in that is interesting?
Not a radish, it's a beet.
It's a beet. That's right. We've got some daikons up in the garden. And what else, honey? I think as big as your head. Yeah.
Mango Warzer.
Mango Walzer?
Mango or Warzer.
Mango Wozer. It's a big honking beet. So I'm going through this list that I was compiling. I really had hoped to get my research done before the live broadcast tonight, but our refugee friend who lives about half an hour away got a really bad case of the flu. And he can't stop coughing, so I picked some mullein leaf, and we took him some dried leaf and fresh leaf for his cough, and that took an hour, just half an hour there, half an hour back. So we're kind of behind the 8 ball here. Hey, Tiffany. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thank you. So one of this particular site that I was on researching talked about the importance of cabbage during wartime when our access to food can be limited. And, you know, fermented foods are really good for our microbiome and our immune system. And sauerkraut actually keeps for months and months. It's a very healthy food. Hello, person who I can never say your name. I'm sorry. There you go. Hello. I'm so bad. Anyway, yes, ferments are really good, Adrian. What do you ferment, Adrian? Kombucha? Huga chaka. Huga. Just remind me. Thank you, Huga. Thanks for coming in. Huga Homestead. So the sauerkraut is really high in vitamin C and probiotics and that type of thing, and it's relatively easy to make. Maybe Charlie will do a video on making it for us. He's Mr. Ferment. Now he's This is the big honkin' beet. He went ahead and looked it up for us. In general, Mangelwurzel. Charlie, when you see German, the W's are pronounced as V's.
These.
Mangelwurzel. They may require supplementary potassium for optimum yields. Yeah. So rutabagas also are really high in vitamin C. So I have both cabbage and rutabagas. Then they were talking about Jerusalem artichokes. We have those. We've had those for years. Kale is one of my favorite vegetables. We have several types of kale out there. They have more calcium than milk. So during World War II, when they couldn't get milk for the children who were, building bone, kale came to the rescue, especially in Europe. It's pretty pest resistant, and it grows through the winter. Really good after a frost. Last time we talked about parsnips, and Charlie, didn't you warn people not to touch the foliage on the parsnip?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's like, talk about giving you a rash.
No, it'll actually create holes in your skin.
Yeah, creating holes in your skin, he says. There's a vegetable called Good King Henry. Has anyone in here ever grown Good King Henry? I haven't, but it's one of those plants that gives you spinach-like leaves. It's hardy. You grow it in the shade. Rich in iron. It's great for women and blood building. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That'd be a good idea. Yeah. Okay, that's funny. The return of the Mangelwurzel. Good King Henry. Let's see. Should I look up, see where we can find it? Good King Henry seeds. Oh, it's a perennial. It's used as spinach. Let's see, what is it good? Pick it all summer, especially hardy. Grows in poor soil in the shade. Really rich in iron. Yeah, Experimental Farm has it for $4.25. The Thyme Garden has it. This I just bought seed from them. I'm going to give you all the link. If anyone else buys seed from these people, let me know. We'll see what kind of germination we get. And this is the Good King Henry. Yeah, Suzanne, all these that I'm looking at were grown in war-stricken Europe. When the occupation forces were going through and destroying crops. A lot of these things look like just regular forest plants, so the troops didn't recognize them as edibles, and people were able to have some nutrition and something to eat year-round with the plants on this list. So Good King Henry you can get at that link. Again, I bought seed from them. I think I bought the Scarrett seed from them this year, and it's it's in the bed. We planted it. Have you checked on germination yet, Charlie? At all for the Scarrett?
No, I was thinking about it today.
Yeah, we'll have to check tomorrow. Keep an eye out for a short or something we'll put out to see if it's been about a week since we sowed it, or a little bit longer, Charlie.
About a week.
Have you grown it before? Adrian. She says she's got good King Henry seed. Tell us about it. Not yet. So I'm gonna order some. Today, I think I already mentioned I started Cardoon. Now, Cardoon, I know, will bite you. It's kind of in the thistle family, but you grow it, grow for the stalks. Salsify, we have tried growing that a couple of times and didn't have much luck with it. Maybe we'll try it again. I don't know, but it's called the oyster plant because it supposedly tastes like oysters, but I can't testify to that because I haven't been successful growing it. Then there's something called black salsify. Anyone hear of that? The black salsify? Yes, it is a perennial spinach. The good King Henry. Maybe I'll give some as a prize tonight. I have to do a list of what I'm promising. I am so organized, I can't find anything. Let's see. Our trusty little notepad. Good King Henry seed. You don't like that one, what? Which one are you talking about? Oh, the salsify. You didn't like it? Because here I've got listed salsify and black salsify. Supposed to be pest resistant. Here's a new one on me. Salsify, that's right. Salsify. Salsify. Yeah. Has anyone heard of this? Masua? I just cut and pasted it off my research screen. Related to nasturtiums. Eat the tubers. They are from the Andes. Produces 4 pounds per square foot. It's a vine, pest resistant, peppery tasting. Make it, pickle it or cook like potatoes. Very high protein, so it's a meat substitute. So shall I really quickly look for it, y'all? Sources for Masua. Oh. Plants are propagated vegetatively and very appealing. If you get a plant that you like, you have a stable new variety all of its own. Once you plant it, evidently you've got it. Out of stock at this place, it was $15. So let's see what Etsy says. Etsy has become my go-to to find some of the weird stuff. How did you spell that? Masua. Ginger root came up. Chea, oca tubers. Oca, I'm going to talk about in a minute. Callaloo, oca. Okay, that's going to be one I'm going to have to look for. Mashua for sale. Mashua candy cane. Oh, I found it. I found it. Wow, it's expensive. One Green World. Everyone wants to look at this with me. I'll put it on the screen here. Let's see. Mashua. If you click on that, yeah, Mashua. Pest-resistant, peppery tasting pickles look like potatoes. Okay. Tubers, $24.95. Mashua plants. I think I'd rather buy the tubers. What do you think? Wonder how many tubers you get. Tuberous nasturtium annu or cubio is a root crop that was developed in the Andes Mountains of South America. This beautiful plant can grow 8 to 12 feet if given something to climb. So it's going to want to climb. Underground Mashua grows deliciously nutritious 3 to 8 inch tubers. One plant can produce over 5 pounds of tubers. Mashua has beautifully nectar-filled small orange flowers that hummingbirds love. Traditionally grown in polycultures with potatoes, oca, and we're going to talk about oca, O-C-A, in a minute. Andean and South America, because the tubers contain aromatic mustard oils that discourage rodents and other pests. Huh. Let's see. What do you think? 3 tubers out of stock? Uh-oh. Out of stock. If you scroll down the bottom of that page is yacon. We're going to talk about yacon too. We have some of that in the yard. I'm determined now to find some of the Mashua. Tubers will multiply. Yes, they will. And that's what makes them so good to have as a survival plant. Yeah. Hey, Agborn Jamaican, welcome. Hey, man, when are you going to come see me? I got a present for you. I got a gift. We were going to do interviews together, do videos. He lives up the street from me. And I've already sold some of my Scotch bonnet peppers. Someone came. I told her I just up potted them from that big into their own pots, and this woman came out and bought 6 of them from me the other day. She goes, I don't care, I want them. She's a return customer. It's like her 3rd year coming back. But I've got something really special for you. So we're talking about survival crops. Last week we talked about scarlet. Okay. Here's that other plant that I just mentioned. Oca. Oca. How would we say that? They're from the Andes originally, but New Zealand evidently really likes them. Tangy tubers. That sounds interesting to me. And you cure them in the sun for several days before eating, and harvest in autumn. But you can eat them raw. So I think that sounds interesting. And that site I just gave you the link to, the One Green World, has them listed as one of the things that they carry. So, Oca. Thank you, Xander. Xander, you speak German too, don't you? Did I remember that correctly? Okay, I think I have seen this at Baker Creek. Oh, Italian, I'm sorry. Purple sprouting broccoli. It's got purple heads to it, and they come out about the size of your thumb. I've grown it before. It's really good. It likes to be neglected. So, Suzanne, you and I both like plants we can neglect, right? Thank you, Suzanne. Yes, and Xander, I'm about to go over a couple of vegetables that are from Italy and see if you've heard of any of these. But let's see, purple rab, that's really good. I have bought the seed to this plant a couple of times and then never planted it. How silly is that? Celtis. It's a winter crop, and thick, crisp stem, eat the leaves and the stem. High vitamin E, which of course is good for your skin, and wound healing. High in potassium. Thrives in shade. A lot of these will thrive in shade. Again, in Europe, to survive the occupation, they planted these like toward the edges of properties or whatever, let them grow wild, because the occupation forces didn't recognize them as edibles and didn't destroy them. What was on the seed wish list? What, the Celtis? Oh, I'm sorry to see that, Suzanne. I'm sorry to see that. I've got it, but I never try to grow it. That I get things sometimes, then I don't try them. Okay. When we first moved here in 2014, I bought a bunch of tubers of this plant. The yacon. Now, what attracted me to yacon was the high inulin content. It's a substitute for potatoes. And if once you dig them up in the fall, you let them cure in the sun for a few days, and after they've cured for a few days, they taste kind of like a cross between apples and pineapples, which is yummy. So you treat it like a sweet potato. They're like little red knuckles, and you put the knuckles in the ground, and they'll shoot up leaves. I've taken some video. It's probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. So you'd have to go back through my video library to look for it. But I might have Yacon in the title. But the leaves are as big as my head. I mean, they're huge. And the plant's taller than I am, and it puts out these little daisy blossoms. And once that kind of dies back in the fall, then you dig the tubers. And from the little knuckles that you planted, you've got the potatoes coming off the bottom. And the nice thing about it is you lift the corm of knuckles with the potatoes, harvest your potatoes, break the knuckles apart, and put those back in the ground, and they turn into new plants next year. So, yeah, it's nice to have a doctor that'll help you. Okay. Oh, it's popular in Japan? We all need more fiber, right? Some of us more than others. Miner's lettuce. Here's one I've never seen before. And I'm going to just post it with my typos and everything. Chinese artichoke. Has anybody tried that? Are they pretty good? Are they easy to grow, Xander? It's in the mint family. Oh, so they take off, huh? So are y'all finding this interesting? Should I keep going? Okay, I get very creative with the spelling of Mediterranean with this. I like invasive things. Yeah, this most of the stuff people haven't heard of, Suzanne. And you've got to really kind of find someone that's selling it. You know, that's why Etsy's a good source for some of this hard to find stuff. And usually what I get from Etsy is healthy and vigorous. So what's hardy down to zone 5, Adrian? Right. Right. Fall or early spring. We are in early spring now when people are planting. Here's another one. Xander, are you familiar with this? And again, I got very creative with the spelling of Mediterranean. Yeah, that's my typing. When I get typing really fast, spelling goes out the window. Chicory as well. And I like the sound of this because it thrives in poor, dry conditions. And it's cut and come again. The more you harvest, the more it bounces back. Does this sound like something you want to try, Charlie? Do you see what I just posted?
No good. We're gonna figure out where to put it.
Yeah. You think the deer will like it, Xander? Yep. Then there's a perennial arugula, also known as wall rocket. We've got that all over the property. It's salad greens, and that thrives in the hot months, whereas the regular arugula, as the weather warms up, it dies back. And the perennial arugula, also known as wall rocket, keeps going through the summer. Here's one I really would like to try. Agretti. You can kind of hear the Italian in that, can't you? Agretti. Okay, looks like big fat dill. And that's just what I'm saying is, as I'm looking at the video, and as it looks like fat dill or land seaweed. It's succulent, good for growing in coastal areas. It can grow in really salty soil. It's very high in iodine, and which helps you if you're thyroid deficient. Harvest that in late spring and early summer. They were talking about, when World War II was going on, the naval warfare, where there were mines put everywhere in the harbors and everything. It was dangerous to go out and fish. So this was something that they used to maintain their iron levels. Gags. Hey, Bud Files. Thanks for coming in. So you've tried this? You've tried this, Xander? You're gagging? It looks like seaweed. Maybe Charlie can find a picture. So I take it you didn't like it. Okay. Well, lucky you. I would love to live in Rome for a little bit. Okay. The next vegetable that I've got listed is Swiss chard, and I grow that every year. I love Swiss chard. It's high in iron. It's a good blood building vegetable, and it's heat tolerant. Now, this one's from France. Let me copy this one. Yeah, I love Swiss chard. Adrian, how do you cook your Swiss chard? Or do you use it raw as well? Here's a new one on me. Yes, it grows all year. It really does. And the more you cut it, the bigger the plant gets. Anyone heard of turnip-rooted chervil? Saute it and eat it raw. Yeah. It's good in soups and stews, stir fries. Sometimes I put them in sandwiches. Oh, can you hear my snoring fur baby?
Big time.
It's Bamsy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean wake you up. We got peanut gallery comments on your snoring. Yeah, he goes right back to sleep. Turnip-rooted chervil from France, partial shade. Sweet aromatic roots with an anise parsley flavor. Yeah, but this isn't chervil. This is turnip rooted chervil. It's different. Okay. So is everyone familiar with the Caucasus? Caucasus is a mountain range, goes up into Russia. I believe Chechnya is in the Caucasus, is it? Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia, all in the Caucasus Mountains. I'd love to see it. Gorgeous area of the world. So Adrian's doing her research for us. Carrot families at the turnip-rooted chervil. I'll wait a second to see who else is digging stuff up for us. Biennial. Chervil is yummy like a baked potato sometimes. So all these things are supposed to be easy to grow, perennial or biennials, grow in poor soil. They take very little attention. So if you can imagine establishing these perennial survival vegetables in your yard in clumps or whatever, and then in between them planting your normal vegetables and fruits that you can grow and switch out as the seasons switch out, and you'll always have these survival foods at your fingertips should you need them. And a lot of them store just right in the ground. So if you don't eat them this year, you'll have them next year and the year after or whatever. Or in an emergency, you just try to remember what's where. And you can access it without having to harvest it and store it in a root cellar or in your garage or pantry. I can, if you, Suzanne, remind me, I'll just send you my notes. Let's see. So back to the Caucasus, the Caucasian Mountains. Let's see. Caucasian mountain spinach. Now this looks really interesting to me. It's an abundant spinach type leaves that the plant can last up to 25 years. And the blossoms on it look like a moonflower or large white morning glory. It's a vine. It evidently takes over, which means this one over here will go, no! But again, you can eat the leaves, the young shoots. It goes to 40 below. So you talk about cold tolerance. Of course, the Caucasian mountains, the Caucasus, are really cold. And it's drought resistance. Root chervil needs frost to germinate. So frost to germinate. So would cold stratification work on that, Adrian, do you think? In the refrigerator, or you freeze it in the freezer, would you think? Now, I just planted a boatload of this. And during World War II, the black radish comes from Spain. And during World War II, when people were getting respiratory infections, they would grate the black radish up with honey for respiratory infections. So it's a medicinal as well as an edible. Okay, so we're back to the chervil question. Adrian says the seeds like around 2 months cold for germination. Sow direct in autumn or in March if you stratify. So I would say if you can find seed now, just store it in the refrigerator until this next fall, and then put it in the ground if you live in an area that you get your frost. Yeah, I grew this I think about a year and a half ago. I did a video on it. They were like this big, the black radish, and we sliced them up and put olive oil and garlic on them, and then roasted them. And I couldn't get enough of that. That was so delicious. So delicious. So the next one I just started to listen to when my alarm went off to come spend time with y'all was garden sorrel or French sorrel. And I did a video on that too last year. I love French sorrel. It's very lemony, very high in vitamin C. And that's about as far as I got. I've got 1, 2, 3 more on my list here to research. But Suzanne, shoot me an email, remind me to send you my notes, or anybody who wants a copy of my notes from tonight. I am going to enhance them a little bit if I can find sources to order these things from. I'm going to list them beside each category. For myself, these are for me as well to go back and order these things. So that's all I have so far on that survival vegetable list. But I really think we're going to need it, sadly. Okay. Just planted red vein sorrel. Once you got that stuff, you can't kill it. We had it in pots and we totally ignored the pots. And I mean ignored. We didn't even water them. And it lasted good 7 years before it finally gave up the ghost. Right. Right. Yeah. If you have renal problems, you don't want things high in oxalic acid. So you want to say. So seriously, if y'all want my notes, just shoot me an email and I'll just hit reply and attach it. Okay. So I've been talking nonstop for an hour. What have I been over that looks interesting to you all? How about you, Charlie? Because you didn't know what I was doing over here. Any of these veggies look good to you?
They all do.
They all do. Exactly. And a lot of these are perennial. Yeah. So again, I'm going to ask everyone to give me a thumbs up, share me out, help the channel. Although I have kind of given up on monetization. I just like to visit with y'all. So I think people opt for, I guess, a more congenial content provider. I guess can be kind of boring. So talk to us, Charlie. What have you been up to in the yard?
I planted some potatoes, corn, pumpkins. We got the English peas up.
Oh yeah, the English peas are like that tall now.
I'm getting ready to spray the plum trees. The almond tree has almost finished blooming. The nectarine is in full bloom right now. Your flat peach is,
And we might actually get a fruit on a flat peach.
yeah, maybe one or two. The tree just now deciding to grow. Saw the apricot blooming. Apples are blooming.
Yeah, we've got crab apples. I really would like that tree to produce.
I think we're going to have a problem with that apple cedar rust.
Yeah,
That's,
we've got a cedar tree in the front yard that spreads rust to the pomes.
yeah, we bought these varieties of crab apples because they're supposed to be resistant, but I don't think they are.
Uh, yeah, Belle of Georgia, Adrian just planted. Is that a freestone? Suzanne says she sucks at growing peas. What do we suck at growing? Cucumbers?
Anaheim cucumbers.
And
I don't know why I can't get them to work here.
Our Armenian cucumbers. We get them to bloom, but they don't produce for us.
We don't do well with Brussels sprouts.
Oh yeah, we can't get Brussels sprouts to give us the Brussels sprouts. One year the plants grew beautifully, but they never formed the little balls of Brussels sprouts. And we eat Brussels sprouts every week.
Very good for getting rid of cancer in your gut.
Yeah, after battling ulcerative colitis most of my life, I discovered cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous. And I eat 3 servings a week, and I went from having to have a colonoscopy every year to every 10 years because I started eating the cruciferous vegetables. My doctor sat at the edge of my bed, and when I woke up, he says, "What have you been doing? You have no sign of inflammation or polyps or anything. What have you been doing that you weren't doing years prior to this?" And I told him. So what are cruciferous vegetables? You remember, Charlie? Other than the Brussels sprouts?
Cabbage, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, collards.
And the trick is not cooking them to a mush. You want them to be a little bit crunchy, a little bit firm, and in the action of chewing them, you release the chemical that helps scrub your gut or scrub your intestines to help you fight intestinal cancer. So that's good to know, right?
Yeah, it's got a chemical in it that actually causes the cancer cell to die.
Basically brassicas, yeah. Tomato transplants around Memorial Day. Our last week of frost is next week, Suzanne, supposedly. So I'm looking forward to being able to take the skin off the tropical greenhouse where my kefir lime and my kumquats and things are. Short growing season for Xander, yeah. I bet some of these survival things would go well there, Xander. You know, they grow throughout Europe. Hey, Marketplace Boutique, welcome in. Oh, that's an interesting fact. Thank you, Adrienne. Cruciferous. Yeah, chard is in there, right? Radish, turnip, bok choy, cauliflower, and mustard green. A lot of these plants that when they go to seed, they form those little pods like the rat tail radish pods. Um, I like the blossoms in salads and soups, and they taste good too. And the pods when they're young are tasty. June to September in worst case. June to October in good times. Are y'all any of y'all catching these tornadoes that we had last week? Anyone in the path of those? Holy moly. This is what I'm saying holy moly about. August 11th. I planted tomato transplants early last year. We got a freeze. And even with the good covers, the plants got set back. You just can't trust. We can't get a freeze here. Yeah, is that the video you showed with you're out there with the dog with the hill coming down? Lots of damage. Yeah, I think at least one of the tornadoes in your area was a F5, wasn't it? Been there, done that, Adrian. Charlie, when we were dating, we're at Auburn University, and his professor called me midday. I think it was in the spring, and he said, "Come get Charlie. He just about passed out during class. He's can't see anything. He can't open his eyes." And I went to get him, and he described it as getting tunnel vision, where the blackness came into his eyesight and went down to pins, and he was having massive headaches. So I took him home and put him to bed. And about the middle of the night is when the tornado started hitting us. And the whole house, we were in an old antebellum house, and we could feel the house shaking. I don't know how close there was to us that there's a tornado, but there is a town next to Auburn. It's called Hurtsboro. And in the morning, Charlie felt he was weak from the headache from the day before, but he felt fine. His fraternity, he was a member of Alpha Phi Omega fraternity, which is not a social fraternity, but what would you call it? A service fraternity. And they got together and they went to Hurtsboro to help the survivors of this incredibly strong tornado that went through there. And I remember there was this huge oak tree that evidently came airborne and went in one window to this house and out the front of the house, into the back and out the front. And the fraternity brothers were in there with their chainsaws trying to get this tree out. And there was this older couple sitting on their back porch on the house over here watching us all day. They just sat there and watched us. And we're making sandwiches, so I took them a sandwich. And I said, "You've been sitting here all day. What was it like, coming through this storm?" And all they did was look at each other, look at me, and open the door behind them that would have been the front door to their house. And I look in, and all I saw was one wall with a toilet hanging off of it. No floor, no roof, no other walls to the house. So all they had left was that porch. And that has stuck with me ever since then, that these storms are devastating, and the damage they do is shocking and interesting at the same time. So, you can be horrified and fascinated at the same time. That's what tornadoes do for me. Charlie is a weather baby. He feels those storms. So you're kind of you're in a safe spot then, huh? Wow, July. I remember that, actually. Yeah. So am I the only one in here that gets morbidly fascinated with these big storms? Okay, so I like storms too. Yeah, we moved from the Boston area to Charlotte, North Carolina, which gets its fair share of tornadoes. And I can remember watching a cloud form. The sky was light, and then over here, if I was standing in my house, I could see like purpley bruised looking clouds with the lightning flashing in it, forming and starting to come down in a funnel. And my neighbors over here had a garage. We didn't have a garage in Charlotte. They set up lawn chairs and we sat around drinking iced tea, watching this tornado come toward us. And I remember it coming and turning. It was probably a mile and a quarter down the street from us, so you could see it and the debris flying in it. And as it kind of went by, and we just kind of watched it go by, drinking tea, and I don't know. That was fascinating too. So, are you selling many of your mushroom logs, Charlie?
Say again?
Have you sold many mushroom logs this week?
No, we haven't sold any this week.
Yeah, you did. That girl that dropped in for mushroom logs and got an impromptu bee class. I think I released that video today on the mason bees. Yeah. So let's see. Wheel of Names. So we've been over some interesting vegetables tonight and during the last live. We're going to do the Wheel of Names. Okay, it's time to do a drawing. My drawing tonight, I'm just going to do one prize. I've got a lot of editing too, Adrian, a lot of video, a lot of content. Since we've been talking about survival crops, I looked up cookbooks using some of these crops, and I found a couple on Amazon. So if you're interested in a cookbook utilizing some of these survival crops, I will send a cookbook to you. So if you want to be in the drawing, type in hashtag cookbook. It's 1010. I'll give you to 1011. You'll put your name on the wheel and we'll do a drawing. How's that? Suzanne, that'll be an easy drawing. Suzanne's the only one who wants the cookbook. Anyone else interested in learning how to cook? Okay, Adrienne, Suzanne. That's it? Okay. Tell you the truth, I think that's everybody who's in here. I wonder where David Gray is tonight. Okay. Here we go. Xander. Woohoo! Okay, so the trick is, I'm going to send this to you, Xander. When you try it, or if you're going to grow any of the vegetables that we went over tonight and you try it, would you mind doing a video maybe of what you grew and what you cooked? I think that would be interesting next fall, don't you think? That'd be cool. Yeah, I hope David's okay too. The thing is, when I chose this live time, not very many people, and I was doing it on Friday, not very many people had this time slot. And now I've got so much competition that's where our audience has gone to. And I get a lot of people watching the live, but they do it on replay. So I'm wondering whether I need to start earlier in the day or pick another day. What do you all think? Am I dooming myself keeping this time slot? Or do I move, or what time of day and which day would you think more people would be free to pop by? Just asking my loyal companions, y'all are here. Maybe earlier, like an hour earlier, 8? Well, I'll shoot Dave an email and ask him if he's okay. No, he's been having a rough time lately. So what do you think, Suzanne? If I backed it down to 8 o'clock, would that be better for you too? How about you, Xander? 8 o'clock Eastern? You know what? I must be tired, Adrienne. I read what you just typed. I see some weed. Like, who's giving away weed? Okay. Oh, maybe we'll back it down. What do you think, Charlie?
What?
If we back our live time down an hour to like 8 o'clock.
It'd be nice. I can get to bed on time.
Yeah, he says he can get to bed on time if we do that. Yeah, let's do that, Suzanne. And I'm wondering if the fact that I haven't been popping into other lives, whether people, you have to show up to other people's lives as well. I've been going in. Those of you who make videos know I pop in and I watch your videos, but the lives is just really hard since we started doing these weekend markets, because if I'm not working on inventory on my crafts, I'm in the greenhouse with the plants, doing the marketing, dealing with customers. I work a couple of days a week, and it's just really hard to hang out online. Yeah, it just, it's life is hectic. Real time. What you don't understand, Suzanne, is we start out on the couch. We go out and sit together and pretend we're watching TV when we're both actually falling asleep. And then he'll get up and actually go sleep in the bed at about midnight, and then I get up at 2 or 3 a.m. and go. It's speaking of go to bed, though, I'm yawning. Oh yeah, there's something going around here. What's going on with Jesse and Lisa? Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Adrian. Whenever I get in the car, I want to fall asleep. Whenever we sit in front of the TV, I want to fall asleep. It's like remember when you put your babies in the car seat and drive them around and get them to sleep? It happens when you're older too. Xander, make you some fire cider. Fire cider really helps keep you healthy. Yeah, what is the bug? Is it more of a flu or respiratory thing or stomach thing or what? What kind of things do they give away? That sounds good. That's good. That's good. It's not the sea. We probably could all use being cleaned out. Don't forget that garden sage, if you have any garden sage, is an antiviral. Just steep it in hot water for about 5 to 8 minutes and drink it. It'll help you fight any viruses. Flu B. I guess that's an advantage not having any children or grandchildren. But I'm sure I work on Sunday at the depot, and since I do, I run the self-checkout, I'll get exposed to everybody who walks through. Steeping the kudzu. The kudzu. Are you talking to both Lisas, me and Lisa with Jesse? That might be good, but Saturday we're going to be at a festival, and if it's like normal, when we get home from the best festival, we eat a light meal and go to bed. They wear us out. All right. Well, I want to thank you all for coming and spending time with us tonight. Poor Charlie has been more quiet than usual. I see why. He's over there reading, pretending to listen.
I am listening.
Are you listening?
Trying to keep from falling asleep.
Oh, I'm that interesting, huh? Anyhow, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending time. I enjoyed you all, and so we'll try to do this again the first week of April. April 1st is my anniversary for my open heart surgery, so maybe we should throw a little bit of a party. He's got his nose in a book. He keeps his nose in a book. That's Charlie's always reading. And you're welcome. Thanks for being interested. And M.I. Gardner. Yeah, I saw that alert flash while I was talking. He said he screwed something up. So wonder what he screwed up. But anyway, love you all. Thanks for coming. We'll see you in a couple weeks, maybe. And until then, be well. Night. Boy, you were ready.
I'm trying to keep from falling asleep.